Okay, Ixl J K.3. So it's unit pricing again, but now we're going to have to actually do a little bit of unit conversion using this stuff right here in order to get our answer. So we're asked, is a 2-gallon container of disinfectant costs $12.64, but what is the price, not per gallon. This time they want to know what the price per pint is. So we've got to do a little bit of work here and make sure we understand excuse me, what these unit measures or these conversion factors mean. Well, we know that 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So right away, if I have 2 gallons, that means that for every 1 gallon, it's 4 quarts. That means I have 8 quarts. I also know from this little chart that every single quart has 2 pints in it. And so 8 quarts, for every 1 quart there are 2 pints. Right? So instead of 8 quarts, you could also say that that's another way of saying we have 16 pints. So as we did in the last task, now we've got the unit conversion done. Instead of thinking about it as 2 gallons, I'm going to think about it as 16 pints. And so the cost of $12.64 for 16 pints, which again, that's the same thing as, this $12.64 for 2 gallons. Well, 2 gallons is the same as 16 pints, so this is the same thing. And as before, we're trying to figure out how much it would cost for 1 pint. How much money would that be? So we'll use our calculator and we'll just literally type in 2.64, which is $12.64, divided by 16 pints. And when I do that, I will get an answer of 79 cents per 1 pint. Just like we did before. The only thing we had to do now is we had to do a little bit of converting first. This one's almost exactly the same, really. It's just that it's bleach rather than the last unit we were working with. And so we've got gallons, but we're asked about pints. So the same thing we did before is we're going to do again. We'll know that 4 quarts is a gallon, so 2 gallons is the same as 8 quarts. Right? And why? Well, why is because 4 per 1 means 4 times 2 is 8. And then I've got 8 quarts, and every quart gives me 2 pints, so 8 quarts, sorry for the sloppiness there, that's 8 times 2, well, not that 2, sorry, this 2, is 16 pints. So it's again 16 pints. 2 gallons is the same as 16 pints. So as we saw in the previous problem, it's $8.80 for not 2 gallons, but now it's for 16 pints. And so as we had done in the last problem, and we will do anytime we're doing unit pricing, we're going to take the price and we're going to divide it by the number of items. And when I do that, I will get an answer of, well, let me put the 0 in there. I'm a big fan of the 0. 55 cents per pint. So now we're moving on to not volume measure, but now linear measure length. We've got inches, feet, yards, miles, all that stuff. The good news here is that the problem we're given is pretty simple. It's yards as compared to feet. Well, this is what we need to know. We know that there are 3 feet per yard. And so we're asked to figure out how much money it is per foot if it costs $38.64 for 2-yard piece. Well, let's convert yards to feet first. So 2 yards, since every 1 yard is 3 feet, that means that 2 yards is actually equal to, that's right, 6 feet. So again, now we're back to the basics. $38.64 for 6 feet. And what we're trying to figure out is how much is that for 1 foot. So we'll take in $38.64 and we'll divide that by 6. And when we do that, we will find that each A foot will cost us approximately, take a guess. Okay, you've guessed and you found it. It was about 6, and it turns out to be precisely $6.44 per foot. And so I'll type that in there if I'm on IXL. Last one, also a linear measurement. So again, we're looking at feet versus yards. So we don't really need this and we don't really need this, but we do need these two. Well, actually, we don't need that either. We just need this one right here. In fact, this is the only one we need. The others can be ignored. So I'm asked to compare which is a better deal. I could buy a 2-yard piece for $1.14 or a 2-foot piece for 46 cents. So I've got to decide whether I want to make, I can't compare apples to oranges. I have to compare apples to apples. So I need to either figure out, do I want to compare the per yard price or the per foot price? And you could do it either way. It turns out that in this case, because the number of feet in a yard is 3, and when we divide by 3, we always get a repeating decimal, that's going to force us to round and we might make mistakes. So it probably is easier to just convert this to feet. So 2 yards, since we know that there are 3 feet per 1 yard, that's just 6 feet. So if I look at this price right here, I've got $1.14 for 2 yards, which we know is 6 feet. And $1.14 for 6 feet is the same thing as 19 cents, or 19 hundredths of a dollar for 1 foot. That's this one. And so that compared to, or versus, switch colors here, 2 feet for $1.40, or for 46 cents, So we don't have to convert here. We already know how many feet this is. So it's just 0.46 divided by 2. So again, we're using our calculator, this number divided by this number, or in this case, this number divided by this number. So 0.46 divided by 2. Well, if you can do the mental math, you know that's 23 cents, right? Cut 46 in half, you get 23. So the question is, which is a better deal? Well, would you rather pay 19 cents a foot or 23 cents a foot? I don't know about you, but I'd certainly much rather pay 19 cents a foot. And so obviously, in this case, that is the better deal. Work through these. You might need a little bit of help. Don't be shy. Raise your hand. I will come around and help you whenever you need it.